Welcome to another episode of Divine Time. On today's episode, I'll be talking about giving back to yourself and ways to do that to reclaim your joy and desires. But first, if you like these episodes, leave a comment and let me know what resonates with you, or shoot, even if you want to tell me how much you hate my videos. Anything helps, but I'm always looking to better myself. Accountability and growth always. So hit that like, run up the algorithm to get these videos who need them. Go ahead and comment so I may learn what I'm doing good and what I can do better. Share, for that's how knowledge is passed on, and subscribe if you want to see more of me. So anyway, let's get into it. Finding yourself, reclaiming your joys. One thing that gets me is we live in a world that constantly pulls us in different directions. Family, friends, work, and responsibilities, they all demand our energy, leaving very little room for ourselves. However, we still give and give our time, love, and resources, often without realizing that we've neglected the most important person in the equation, yourself. But what happens when we continuously pour into others while ignoring our own needs? Burnout, resentment, and an overwhelming sense of being lost. We forget what it feels like to do something just because it makes us happy. We put our dreams on hold, telling ourselves, I'll get to it later, but later never seems to come. This is where I'm currently at in life. The personal things that I have been through, seen, and secrets I'm still holding for others who have shown that they don't care one bit about me or anyone else. It's time to change that. It's time to give back to yourself, myself. Now, why does giving back to yourself matter? Well, when we neglect ourselves, we lose touch with our passions, desires, and even our identity. Giving back to yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. When you prioritize your well being, you're not only happier, but you also show up as a better version of yourself for those you love. Think about this. What things did you love to do that you seem to not care much for anymore? What excuses do you tell yourself on why you can't or don't pursue those passions anymore? Think about it. When was the last time you did something purely for you, not out of obligation, not because someone needed you, but because it genuinely fed your soul? If you can't remember, that's a sign it's time to start making yourself a priority again. So stop going out with friends just to turn to be the babysitter of the grown children or the designated driver. Stop being there for others who will not do the same for you. Here's some ways to give back to yourself. Listen to your inner voice. What do you want? What have you been putting off? Take time to reflect on your
Hey,
dreams.
beautiful souls. If you love deep conversations about life, love, and spiritual growth, help us reach more like minded people. Like, comment, and share to push these powerful episodes through the algorithm. Let's build a community that thrives on wisdom and connection. Find us everywhere: YouTube at Donley_Divine, Facebook and Kick at Divine Time Podcast, and also follow the blog, divinetime.blog. If you're looking for your soul tribe, join our Telegram group, Warriors of Love. Together we rise. Divine time is now.
On that one. But I mean, when it comes to listening to your inner voice, when you think of something that I have started doing is when you think of something, go ahead and do it. Write it down. If it's an action, go ahead and do it right then and there. Because procrastination is like masturbation. You're just fucking yourself in the long run. Might feel good at the time, but it's going to do more harm than good in the long run. Now, rolling into the second thing, you want to set boundaries. Now, there's a lot of individuals who really don't know what boundaries are. Boundaries are not rules. A lot of people will say they're setting boundaries and they're actually stating rules. Rules is telling somebody what they are going to do or what they're not going to do. Boundaries is stating what you're not going to tolerate. You, the individual. For example, if I set a boundary saying that I'm not going to get upset about things that I have no control over, that's a boundary. Now, a rule would be my wife cannot pull me into something that's going on at work. That's not a boundary. That's not has nothing to do with if this happens, I'm going to do this. That's stating that this person can or cannot do something. That is a rule. Rules and boundaries are completely different. Setting boundaries. You don't have to say yes to everything. Protect your time and energy by setting limits on what you take on. Saying no to others sometimes means saying yes to yourself. I had to get out of the habit of being reliable to everyone but myself. I realized that a great majority of my time was taken up by thinking of and putting others before myself. Had to create healthy boundaries and stand 10 toes down on them. However, when you set boundaries, beware that those fake friends will start to fall off. Either they'll stop calling on you because they're no longer a priority in your life, or you will notice them saying you changed. And it will feel draining on how often you seem to argue with this person. Now, with it, I do not believe in arguing with anybody, because if someone feels that they need to argue with me, for me to care, that must mean that I must first value your opinion. And if someone wants to argue about something, we obviously don't see eye to eye. And from all the things that I've been through in life, I realize that when someone believes something firmly and wants to challenge you on that belief, there's nothing that's going to change their mind. They're trying to change your mind. That's just a waste of energy. I mean, a lot of times it's going to take that individual on their own to change the way that they are thinking. That is not your responsibility. That is not my responsibility. That is their responsibility to change their mindset. A third thing that you want to do, and this is something that a lot of people struggle with. A lot of people struggle with doing what brings you joy without guilt. That is the important part. The without guilt. All right. Whether it's reading a book, dancing, traveling, or simply resting, give yourself permission to enjoy life. Your happiness is just as important as everyone else's. In this societal, normal world, we are groomed since birth to think about how the world perceives us. Am I pretty enough? Am I smart enough? Am I this? Am I that? We allow the thoughts of others to dictate too many of our decisions subconsciously. You don't necessarily think, are people going to judge me for reading at the park? But that weird feeling comes over you, and many will choose not to bring that book because of it. However, sitting on your phone at the park alone is better? Question. The fuck? Go do a random twirl in the aisle of Walmart. Speak to a stranger and spark a conversation. Be as carefree as a toddler. They do what makes them happy and don't care who is watching. Return to your true self. Your true self. I say that again. Return to your true self. Have you ever looked at a toddler, an infant, a baby, and they're always smiling? They're doing what brings them joy. They're doing what they love. They're not doing what they're told. Well, if you tell them to do something, they probably will. But the first instinct that they have is to do what brings them joy. My daughter will go in the living room, pull a chair out into the middle of the living room, and twirl and spin and dance around that chair, having a good old time. Every time she creates a new move, even if it's like a slight little, and throws her leg back, Daddy, I made a new move. Look. And you look, and she does some random stuff and then throws her leg up. And it's like, oh, okay, good job, girlie. And she's like, thank you, thank you. And then she goes and puts her hands on the chair. And she's like, Daddy, Daddy, look, I did a new move. And the cycle continues. Every time she does a small little thing, she wants to show you, but she's so happy with doing it. It brings her so much joy just to sit there and twirl around a chair and dance. She is doing what she enjoys. It brings her joy without guilt. She does not care about what mommy or daddy think about it, or if she looks weird doing it. None of that goes through her mind. She's doing what makes her happy. She's in her own reality, and that's all that matters. That is what we need to get back to. We need to do what brings us joy without guilt. Another thing that we need to do is invest in your growth. A lot of individuals don't even know what that means to invest in your growth. Take that class, start that hobby, or pursue the passion you've been neglecting. Personal growth isn't a luxury, it's an act of self love. I read a quote that stated, if you do something that doesn't progress your life or teach you something, you have just wasted your time. So, are you wasting your time by not working on you? Are you wasting your time by not working on you? What have you done today? What have you done today that invested back into you? Did you learn about anything new? I live my life by three daily rules. Every day I strive to bring a smile to somebody's face. Every day I strive to influence someone on a positive level. And every day I strive to learn something new. For if not, I'm getting complacent. And one saying we always had in the Marine Corps was complacency kills. Hey, knowledge is power, right? The more you learn. Now, with it, go do something. Read a book. Learn about how to fix cars. YouTube teaches a lot of things. There's a lot of things you can learn from YouTube. Since everybody's always on their little mobile device, a handheld computer, there's a lot of things that you can do to grow, to invest in yourself. Now, with it, you have to apply the things that you learn as well. Because it's one thing to have the knowledge of something, but to have the intelligence is being able to apply it. Thank you, Brother Ralph. Appreciate that. See, I listen. Another thing that you can do, or the fifth thing that you need to do to really find yourself again and to bring that joy and desire back into your life, is going to be prioritize self care. There's a lot of individuals who do not have a self care ritual. They do not do anything. They go to work, they come home, they lay in the bed, on their phone all the time, get up, go eat something, go back into their bed, go to sleep, wake up, go back to work, and the cycle repeats. How are you prioritizing self care? What is your self care? What are you doing that is different? That is just a groundhog day. Take care of your mind, body, and spirit, whether it's through meditation, exercise, or simply taking a break. Nurturing yourself is essential. If you are constantly on go mode, here, there, and everywhere, when do you get to see the fruits of your labor? The body will wear down, the mind can forget, and the spirit can get weak. In the Marine Corps martial arts program, we call this the warrior ethos. You deserve it. Giving back to yourself isn't about neglecting others. It's about remembering that you matter too. You can't give your best to the world if you're running on empty. So today, make the decision to choose you, not just once, but as a daily practice. Because when you give back to yourself, you're not just living, you're thriving. It's time. What will you do today to give back to yourself? Relax your mind. It's divine.
Hey, beautiful souls. If you love deep conversations about life, love, and spiritual growth, help us reach more like minded people. Like, comment, and share to push these powerful episodes through the algorithm. Let's build a community that thrives on wisdom and connection. Find us everywhere: YouTube at Danley_Divine, Facebook and Kick at Divine Time Podcast, and also follow the blog divinetime.blog. If you're looking for your soul tribe, join our Telegram group, Warriors of Love. Together we rise. Divine time is now.